Welcome to Massive Late Fee. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my girlfriend Carol. How you doing, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. We've had a good week here at Massive Late Fee.
Yes, we have.
What do you want to do first? Do you want me to read the news first? Do you want to go with your little bit of news first? What do you want to do?
I guess I'll go with mine first.
Okay, well, you do you then.
So we got a letter on AOL.
Send a letter.
Very
AOL.
excited. From Scott
Scott.
with a movie suggestion.
Hello, Scott.
Says, "Hey, lovin' the tapes. My cousin has some supplier, he won't tell me who he gets the tapes from and copies them on his boombox for anyone who wants one."
Oh, good
I don't
job.
know. I mean, that's cool that we're spreading the tapes around, but is he making money off this? Because that's not right.
No one's making money off this.
Have you ever seen Hamburger, the motion picture? It's a cheap sex comedy from the 80s, but it was also the first adult-type movie that my brother and I ever watched via USA Up All Night. As such...
Up all night. The Rhonda Shear, right? Yeah.
Sure. I've never heard of this movie, so...
I've seen Hamburger, the movie.
Yeah.
Not related to Hot
The
Dog,
sex
the movie. It basically is.
As such, it holds a special place in my heart. Might be interesting to hear your take on it. Keep up the good work. Your insights help keep me from sounding like a dweeb when I talk of movies and TV with my friends.
Oh, good.
Scott.
Good job. Thank you for the letter,
Thank
Scott.
you so much. We will continue to try to keep up your education.
Right. I have seen Hamburger, the movie. It's about 10 years old now, I guess. I think 86
Okay.
is when it came out. It's an interesting film. It's the first film that I ever heard the phrase eating out at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The whole thing, so they're in a university, if I remember correctly. Like, you know how like McDonald's has like McDonald's University
Yeah.
or whatever? It's like that. It's
Okay.
Hamburger U.
Interesting.
And the commandant's wife or something like that is attracted to the sidekick character. And like he wants to sleep with her. And Dick Butkus, the old football player, runs this. He's like the head of the university or whatever, and head of security or something like that. And they're out to dinner, and he goes like he's there with it's the two guys and two girls, the two love interests, and they hide under the table, and he starts doing that under the table.
Oh, my.
The comedy guy. She's wearing a dress. You know, his head's like you don't see. You know, obviously you don't see her genitalia, but his head's like in a dress, and he pops out and he goes, "I love eating out," because they're at a restaurant,
Right.
too. So it's funny on two levels.
Right.
But
That
yeah,
sounds like a pretty
maybe
terrible movie.
maybe we'll go to Blockbuster one week and we'll rent it, and when we have a week that not a lot's going on, and we'll talk about Hamburger the movie.
Okay.
I think it's worth talking about. It's like Scott, it was one of the first of those types of movies I saw as well, but it's not good.
Well, sometimes that's the most fun, though, isn't it?
Sometimes. But speaking of things that are good, or maybe not good, I don't know. The new Forbes 100 richest people list came out. The 100 people you wish you were. And
Right.
the richest person right in America now is Bill Gates. Billiam Gates,
Good for him.
who is the founder and owner of Microsoft, which is that, you know, everyone's got Microsoft on their computer now.
Right.
He is now worth $12.9 billion.
Wow.
Billion with a B.
That's crazy.
Insane. Up from $4.3 billion last year. So he's added $8 billion in 1 year
Wow.
through this company. Because everyone's computer nuts now. Everyone wants a computer.
See, that's not sustainable, though. Like, $8 billion in a year, it's got to go down from there.
You would
can't-
think, yeah.
Can't go up from there.
No. I mean, the company's hot now. These computers are a big fad right now. Eventually, you know, that stuff will die down.
For sure.
Yeah, no one. I can't even imagine anyone being worth more than that ever. Ridiculous. But speaking of ridiculous, have you ever watched the John Larroquette show?
No.
It's not really ridiculous, but so they did this little article about it, about how the John Larroquette show deals with alcoholism. It's
Okay.
actually a pretty interesting article where it follows a woman who's a fan of the show, who's a struggling alcoholic. She says sometimes she goes to 3 meetings a day, 3 AA meetings a day.
Wow.
And she says that, the show really does a good job of portraying alcoholism and the struggles with alcoholism. And then they talk to John Larroquette, who apparently was an alcoholic.
Well, I guess that explains why he did such a good job with
And
it.
yeah, he's been sober for 13 years, and I guess the guy that created the show also was an alcoholic, and a lot of the writers were alcoholics. And he said that alcoholism and drug abuse is a big problem in Hollywood,
Well.
and a lot of people are in programs to get clean, so they kind of write what they know about.
Makes sense.
So I thought that was interesting. I've only seen the John Larroquette show a few times. I've never struggled with alcoholism, so
You haven't.
no.
Come on.
I guess for the sake of comedy, I should say yes and, right? That's what I'm supposed to be doing as far as improvisation goes.
Well, no, I just,
But no,
I just
I've
mean
never had
like we've maybe not alcoholism, but we've definitely struggled with going too far.
Oh, yeah, sure, from time to time.
Yeah,
My dad is an alcoholic,
yeah.
so I know what it's like from that perspective.
Yeah, mine too.
And then the last bit of news I have is a hot new band, an interesting new band.
Ooh.
And I'm a bit of a fan, I have to say. So, are you familiar with Nirvana?
Yeah.
And how they broke up because Kurt Cobain broke his head up?
Yeah. Wow.
Too soon? Is
I
it
think
too,
so.
Too soon for
Just
that
a
one?
little too soon. Yeah.
Anyway, so because that band no longer exists, the drummer of that band, a man by the name of Dave Grohl, has started a new band, and they're coming out with a new album, The Foo Fighters.
Interesting.
So pretty interesting music. I kind of like it. He's pretty talented. So he's singing, and also I think he drums in the band, obviously. But I think he also plays some instruments too, guitar and stuff like that.
I like the headline for this article.
Smells like a new spirit. Yeah. Very clever.
Whatever.
You can see that they were up all night
They
trying to
were.
think of that one
I'm
with
sure.
Rhonda Shear. Watching Hamburger the movie. That's where they got that comic gold. Anyway, that's all the news that I have. Check out the Foo Fighters album. I think it's quite a thing.
We really do need to get on making a mixtape. We've been
Yeah.
doing so much talking about music and not doing any music reviews.
There's some good music out there.
Yeah.
Not just Natalie Merchant, not just the Foo Fighters, but there's some people out of Canada. There's some good music coming down the pike here that I'm interested in.
All right.
Even some country stuff that's not totally bad.
Yeah, there is the occasional country song that's okay.
I'm just saying.
Just only occasionally, though. We'll check it out.
There's some good-looking women singing country pop style songs right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't be looking too hard.
Okay. I wish you could have seen the sneer that she just gave me.
He knows better.
Anything that you want to talk about before we get into the movie that we saw? The film?
I don't know. It's not been a very exciting week. It's summer.
4th of July.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was just a couple days ago.
Happy 4th of July, everyone.
Yep. Happy Freedom Day.
Happy Independence Day.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
We saw some fireworks.
We did. Baby, we saw some fireworks. And so we went to the parade, and we went to the parade near my hometown.
In Clawson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we went to the fair.
I
That
like
was
that
fun.
part. And yeah, because, corn dogs and
Yep.
rides and
Corn dogs.
petting zoos. All that good summer fun.
Yep. Those petting zoos always smell great, don't they?
But the cuteness makes up for it.
I guess.
I mean, it doesn't matter how bad you smell if you have little Bambi eyes and you're soft.
Okay, well, I'm pretty soft.
You
So I don't have to take
Bambi
I don't have to take a shower anymore. Is that what you're saying?
No, you totally do.
All right. Well, what if I got surgery? I got surgery to expand my eyes.
We could talk about it, I guess.
All right.
You freak.
So one day I can live my dream of never taking a shower again.
Why? Why would you not want to shower?
I don't know.
That's gross.
I like scabies.
I had a friend who didn't like to shower.
Really?
The only way anyone could get him in the shower is if his girlfriend would take a shower with him.
Oh wow, that's dumb.
Yeah.
I have some. Well, let's call them friends
All right.
because I don't want to identify them too well. But I have some people I know that don't like to take showers. One of them was forced to shower at school
Wow.
because of complaints and stuff. That's how bad it got.
That's got to be some serious stench.
Yeah, and some serious psychological problems. I don't know.
Yeah, because why would you not want to be clean? Like, that's the best way. That's how I start my day every morning. I get up and I shower because it helps me feel awake and clean and ready for the day.
Well, you're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
Right?
But that Zest is our new sponsor this week. Don't sue us, Zest.
Well, and you can have a lot of fun in the shower, at least if you're an Herbal Essences girl.
That's true. I've seen those commercials.
I tried Herbal Essence and it was not that
You didn't have
good.
an orgasm?
I did not. I'm sorry to say it.
Oh, all right. I figured we all thought that was going to happen. And they didn't just think that women moaning would sell shampoo. Can you imagine that meeting from the Herbal Essences people? Sex sells. What are we selling? Soap for your hair. How can we make it sexy?
Yeah.
Let's just imply that it stimulates your G-spot.
Yeah, somehow it turns your scalp into a sexual organ.
There you go. Oh yeah, what if the women after that? What if after in the world of Herbal Essences? What if after the women couldn't get off sexually unless the head play?
Weird.
Yeah, they needed some sort of stimulation.
That could actually work out really well, though.
Yeah,
If you think about it.
yeah, they could.
Moving on.
All right. So we saw a very sexy movie.
Not at all.
Well, it stars the sexiest man in the world.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. He's a fantastic actor. Never in a million years would I want to have sex with him.
What about Kevin Bacon?
Not really.
Gary Sinise?
Closer?
Bill Paxton?
No.
Really? Okay.
I mean, he's cute, but he's not sexy.
Bill Paxton looks like if Oklahoma was a person.
Right?
Yeah, she just looks very Midwest and cowboyish or something.
Yeah.
So we saw Apollo 13. I was reluctant to go to this movie because I thought I'd be lost because I never saw Apollo 1 through 12.
Oh my God. I have to deal with this every day. You just have it once a week. It's all the time, 24/7 right here.
That's true.
That's love, baby.
I have no off switch. But anyway, this movie was tense.
Yeah, it was.
Very intense film. Which is, we saw Crimson Tide. That was that last week or was that the week before?
2
that?
weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. So, a couple pretty tense movies in a row. Now, for older people who remember what happened, I don't know, because I don't remember. Like, I wasn't alive in 1970 when this movie came out,
Right.
So I don't, or not when the movie came out, when Apollo 13 happened in real life. So I don't know what it's like for people that I'd never really heard of it before. I'd never heard of Apollo 13, never heard the story or anything like that before this movie. At least until the run-up to this movie. Then there were some newspaper articles and stuff like that. And I subsequently learned what happened, or the broad strokes of what happened. I learned that, spoilers, that they lived. But even with that, it was still super intense. But I know there were people in the theater around our age and everything that didn't know
Right.
what happened, which makes it even more tense. I wonder if it's as tense for people that lived through it, or if it's more nostalgic. I don't know.
My mom lived through it.
True.
And she wouldn't tell me anything about what happened because she didn't want to spoil it for me.
Right.
But afterwards, she told me that her family, I guess, was super into it. Like watching the launches and stuff. And
They were super into the idea of watching astronauts die.
No. But like she said, they would set their alarm and get up in the middle of the night to watch a launch if there was one happening.
Oh, wow, that is into it.
And so they were going to watch that show that the astronauts do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't on, and they were so
The
upset.
the cartoon show, right? The
Right.
the astronauts variety house.
Shut up.
Hey, Buzz. It looks like Neil's stuck in a well.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Just shake your head at me.
That's what I'm good for.
That's how we keep the ball rolling here on the show.
You just denied.
Head shakes. No, so this movie, broad strokes, very well acted, well directed, obviously. There's a shot in here that Ron Howard includes where the information, so they're in Mission Control or whatever in Houston, and there's a guy, a lot of these guys wear big Coke bottle glasses, which I assume was the style back then.
Yeah.
And there's a screen with all the kind of information on it and everything as they're talking, and he's closed up on this guy, and the reflection of all the information is in his glasses as they pull the camera back. It's a really great shot.
It is pretty cool.
And I don't know if that was added in later with Bill Gates's Microsoft computers or whatever.
You are such a freak.
Or if they were able to get it, just naturally or whatever. But it was a really great shot. But so fantastically directed, great acting. Obviously, you mentioned Tom Hanks, not the handsomest guy in the world, but very good actor. And the well-written story and everything, very, like I said, very intense. That's probably the emotion that runs through the whole movie is intensity and wonder,
Yeah.
I would say. The kind of joy and wonder of exploration and space travel.
Joy, wonder, exploration, all things that were going on between him and his wife in the very beginning of this movie.
Right.
When he's pawing her on a lawn chair.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, watching him try, like he's flirting and giving his wife eyes and stuff, watching him try to be sexy, that was like one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he's a fantastic actor.
How do you
He
think?
cannot do sexy.
How do you think Rita Wilson deals with it?
He looks like such a dad. Mm-hmm. It's like watching a dad paw somebody. No.
Well, he has kids, right? He's got a couple young
Yeah.
kids.
I guess that's true. Like, he is a dad, whatever, but this was gross. Sorry, Mr. Hanks.
Oh,
you're amazing.
He's definitely listening.
You're amazing, but no.
He's definitely got a hold of one of the tapes.
For sure. Well, Scott's cousin is passing these tapes out everywhere,
right.
so
Scott's cousin is our biggest distributor.
make sure Mr. Hanks gets one.
No, but I see what you're saying. like that hadn't occurred to me because I'm a dude,
Right.
But yeah, he does, and it's a period movie, so late '60s, early '70s fashion, decor. It doesn't help.
Right.
It doesn't.
That's true.
It doesn't help the aesthetic at all. Because when you think of the late '60s, you don't think of parents having sex
Right.
and making babies. You think of teenagers doing drugs and having sex.
That's true. I mean, because they would have separate beds on TV in those times and everything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously they did have sex,
Or there wouldn't be any people.
right in those times, but you don't think about it that way. You think about people face down in the mud at Woodstock.
Right.
Having sex.
Ew.
Yeah, that's the kind of image that the '60s conjures to me.
Yeah.
But what did you think? What did you think of the movie? I thought it was a great movie. What did you think?
Oh, yeah. I thought it was a fantastic movie. It was more than 2 hours long, and
Yeah.
it did not feel like it at all. I mean,
Not too much longer than 2 hours, but yeah.
it was like, it just sucked you in to the point where like nothing else mattered, and like you're really afraid for them.
Oh yeah. Well, so many things go wrong. Like things start to go wrong. There's an explosion on their ship, and oxygen starts venting, and then just things continue to go wrong. And little mistakes get made and everything. At one point, they calculate for CO2. Bill Paxton calculates for CO2, and it's off. And their CO2 is building up inside their lunar module, and it's going to kill them. And Bill Paxton's like, I don't know what the hell I did wrong. He goes back and looks at his figures. He's like, oh, I only figured it for 2 people.
Which wasn't wrong, because there was only ever supposed to be 2 people.
Right, because the lunar module is supposed to carry... So when they do moon landings, or when they did moon landings, they haven't done a moon landing since the 70s, they, at least as far as the Apollo program goes, they would... 3 people, 3-man crews would go out there. The lunar module was built for 2. One person has to stay in the ship. So 2 people go down in the lunar module. They do their moonwalk. That's why everyone remembers Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon, Buzz Aldrin, second man on the moon. But like very few people remember Michael Collins, part of that mission too, had to stay in the ship.
How'd you like to be that dude?
Oh, I know. Well, the mission before Apollo 11 was Apollo 10, where because they did this in stages to see if they could do it, and Apollo 10's mission was to fly to the moon, go down in the lunar module to 50,000 feet above the surface of the moon, and then leave. And that's what they did.
Wow.
But there's a, I don't know, it's poetic or whatever. It's scientific. So there's a thing where they say that Michael Collins, at one point in time, was the person most isolated from any other people in that we know of in existence in the universe.
Because he was alone there.
Yeah, because he was alone on the ship, away from them and away from all the other humans, and all other humans are always around other humans. Because even if you're let's say you're in a house, like a farmhouse, alone, there's still somebody like, I don't know, a mile or 2 away from you.
Right.
But I think they were like 3-4 miles away or whatever, doing their moonwalk.
How long were they gone?
They were in Apollo 11, I believe they were out of the extravehicular activity or something. That's what they call EVA. They were out for 22 or 30 minutes, something like that.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, okay. I was all
Not a long period of
feeling bad for him for a second, but anyone can handle 20 minutes in solitary. Come on.
Well, yeah, it's not like he was there for days by himself.
I bet he was fine. I'd
Yeah.
have been fine. He probably took a nap.
It's like I said, it's not a poetic thing. It's not like oh, he was the loneliest person in the world. It's just scientifically, statistically, or whatever,
Right.
from a fact point of view, he was the most isolated, the farthest away from any human being.
Okay.
So, Apollo 13, things start to go wrong, and then they just keep going wrong.
Yeah.
And it's hard to articulate exactly what makes the movie so tense, but what's his name? I almost said Rob Reiner, but that's not who it is. You know.
Tom Hanks?
No, the director.
Oh,
Ron
Ron
Howard.
Howard, yeah.
Ron Howard has a way, at least in this movie, of drawing you in and just holding on to you the whole time. He's been a decent director for quite a while. This, I think, is his best movie. And the one where I've most firmly felt his hand on the wheel the entire time. Okay. Like, he is in the driver's seat of this movie. The acting's great, and he gets great performances out of everybody. But this is his movie. More than even Tom Hanks's movie, more than anybody else's movie, I think this is his movie.
Okay.
And he, like I said, he really controls it from start to finish. And he masterfully moves the audience exactly where he wants them to go, feeling exactly what he wants them to feel at every turn in this film.
Yeah. I will agree. I mean, I felt a lot during this movie.
Yeah.
You know what? One of my the funniest parts in this movie to me though was when Bill Paxton's character, who's sick, like the whole time.
Yeah.
From the very beginning. I mean, he started throwing up initially, like when they got on there. So I mean, I think he was sick.
Yeah.
But when he says that he thinks that Kevin Bacon gave him the clap.
Oh, that is funny, yeah. Because Kevin Bacon, from the beginning, is shown to be like a tomcat or whatever, however you want to say it.
And they had them using the same things to pee in.
Well, he said he kept using his urine collection tube or whatever. Because basically they pee into a tube, into a bag.
It's so weird. Like, I would not use somebody else's tube. Right?
I'd probably try to avoid it, but I don't know if he had a choice.
He said it in this way, like it sounds like he was being a menace. Like he kept using my tube.
Kevin Bacon's just sitting in the corner, like rubbing his hands together, smiling. I'll infect everyone.
I want to know what was really wrong with him, like the whole time.
Who, Bill Paxton?
Yeah.
I don't know. I do know that he didn't have the best time on the Vomit Comet. Have you heard of this? There's a lot of behind-the-scenes type of stuff that has come out about this movie.
Okay.
That's interesting. And one of the things that they did in preparation for this is there's a plane that they call the Vomit Comet, and basically what it does is it takes off and it goes in a parabolic flight plan. Mm-hmm. So it comes up real quick, and then it starts to go down real quick, and then it like kind of flattens out for a minute, and then it up and down again. And what that does is it simulates weightlessness because of the force, the G-forces. If you're able to drop and then flatten out, you're weightless for a small period of time. So they did this to simulate weightlessness and kind of get an idea of what it would be like to be in space. And, they call it the Vomit Comet because people throw up a lot on this thing.
Gross.
Yeah.
I don't. Why would anybody choose that?
To get ready for their role in this movie.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, it sounds like it's something that is out there, or no?
Astronauts actually do use this to train, too.
Okay.
I don't know if this is available for the general public or not. I think this is maybe just for astronauts, and then if you're rich enough and have a movie studio, you can you can convince them to do it. I don't know if I don't think it's a tourist type thing.
Okay. Doesn't sound like a good time.
I don't like to fly anyway, so I wouldn't do it at all, but yeah, that's maybe that's method acting from that. I don't know.
Maybe.
Bill Paxton's decided that his character doesn't do well flying. His character's background, so we don't get a whole lot on these people actually.
Yeah.
I mean, we get a little bit of character development. Tom Hanks's character probably is the most well-rounded
right.
of the characters because we really get to know what his hopes are, what his dreams are. He wants to go to the moon. That's the biggest ambition in his life. He was on Apollo 8, I think, which circled the moon 10 times and then, flew to the moon, circled the moon 10 times, and then came back to Earth. And again, he's got a slingshot around the moon. So he's got the moon in his sights, but he can't land on it. And so that's obviously it's a big loss for him. But so we get to see his emotion. We get to see what his ambitions are, so that when he loses it, we feel that with him. But the other two, we don't get a whole lot as far as backstory goes. There's some television like interviews with them and things like that are shown on TV in the parlance of the movie. So other characters are watching them on TV, and we get some backstory there. And one of the backstory things that we get from Bill Paxton's character is that he never even dreamed about flying or anything like that until he joined the service. And he just he wasn't one of these the right stuff, Neil Armstrong, military colonel, determined to do this kind of people. He sort of more or less fell into it. Huh. I mean, he was good at it, and he tried for it, but it's not like he was all gung-ho for this. He just was in the military, and then this was an avenue that was open for him, so he just took it.
Okay. Well, and what else we know about his character is that he's married and has kids, and his wife is pregnant.
Right.
And that the other guy just fucks everything. And no one came to his launch.
Apparently, also, Bill Paxton's urine collection tube fucks that too.
Right? No one came to see him off. That would be terrible. It would be so depressing.
He's got a mom. We see his mom. He's also...
We do?
Yeah, Kevin Bacon's character is a... Wasn't that his mom?
No, that was Tom Hanks's character's mom.
Well, she was talking about... I don't think so. I think that was...
The lady in the nursing home?
Yeah.
No, his family goes to see her. His wife and kids go visit her.
Okay.
It's not the other guy's mom, it's his mom.
All right. Well, because Kevin Bacon's character is the pilot, and she says if they could make a bathtub fly,
my Billy could land it.
Well, his name's Jimmy.
My Jimmy could land it. Whatever.
His name is James Lovell. So and it's I think it's Jim Swaggart. So it could go either way.
It was Tom Hanks's character.
All right, whatever. Anyway, so we don't see anybody from him then.
No, he's completely alone in the world.
Well, he was a replacement for Gary Sinise because Gary Sinise was supposed to get the measles.
Yeah.
And didn't.
You know what, though? That's the best thing that ever happened for any of them.
You think so?
I think they'd all be dead if Gary Sinise's character had been up there instead.
Really?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Because he figured it out how to bring them home safe.
Yeah, I guess you don't think anybody else would have figured it out.
No.
Okay.
I mean, they were basically like floundering until he got there.
But what if he was up there? Don't you think he would have figured it out up there?
No, because their brains weren't functioning properly because they didn't have enough oxygen and they were under all that stress and sleep deprived and,
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's definitely possible. So, I would definitely recommend this film.
Oh, yeah.
I think, and I might be going on a limb here, but I think this is the best movie we've seen this year.
So far.
Yeah, I would say so. So this is my front runner for Oscar.
Yeah. I think it was better than Braveheart. Not by much.
Braveheart. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would nominate Tom Hanks for Best Actor again. Although him winning 3 in a row would be very interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't know because as I said, I think he was very good in the movie, but I think the strength of this movie is the direction.
Yeah.
I think that to me is the clear stamp on this movie is how it's directed.
So you think Ron Howard should get the best director?
For sure. At least right now. I can't. The year's not over. We'll see what happens and what other films come out. But as far as right now, yes. That's who I would vote for.
Okay.
So we will end this episode, as we end all episodes, with our blockbuster pick of the week, Carol.
Yes.
This week, I'm telling you, there are some choices here. IQ. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
I'm not familiar with IQ.
Oh, it's Meg Ryan and Tim Robbins, and it's Walter Matthau stars as Albert Einstein. So it's like a romantic comedy with Albert Einstein.
That sounds so dumb.
Come on.
That sounds, as my friend Claudette would say, that sounds stupid dumb.
Well, you're wrong. It's a good movie.
Sure. Whatever you say.
But the other thing that's coming to home video that we didn't see and we didn't really talk about, came out earlier this very year. The what? The Brady Bunch.
What year was it now?
This year.
Oh, okay.
The Brady Bunch movie.
Oh, yeah. We almost saw it.
We almost saw it, but then we didn't see it.
Maybe we should really see it now. What do you think?
I think we should. I think we should rent it. I think we should rent it and talk about it.
Marsha.
I like that actress, though, that plays
I know
Jan.
you do. Like all those pretty little
She was on
actresses.
She was on a show called Hey Dude.
Huh.
Hey Dude.
Was it on cable?
It's a little wild and a little strange. It was on Nickelodeon, yes.
Yeah. Rich people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very rich. Just because we've leapt into the 80s.
Yes,
And have
exactly.
cable. But that's our blockbuster pick of the week. Carol, why don't you take us home?
So everybody be cool like Scott and write us at latefee1994 at AOL.com.
And distribute tapes like Scott's cool cousin.
Yeah. So, yeah, tell your friends and give us the stars and the likes.
All right, we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.